Welcome to my channel. Uh, Please like and subscribe. Press the bell icon. The Geostatistics for Beginner is my book. The link for purchase of this book will be available soon. And this is the synopsis of my book. You can go through the synopsis. Now the presentation starts. Sample data from ore body can often be approximated by a spherical variogram model, converse function, covariance measures the similarity of sample values and is employed in the kriging estimation method. Anisotropies. The anisotropies are depicted by computing the variogram in different directions. If the range of the influence along two directions in the horizontal plane differ widely, the ratio of two ranges is called the anisotropy factor. This type of anisotropy is defined as geometrical anisotropy along horizontal plane. Other types of anisotropies are encountered. For instance, if layering of the mineralization exists, then the global variation in any direction can be thought of the sum of two independent sources, one isotropic component plus a zonal component, which depends on the number of layers crossed. The difference between the grades of 2 points depends not only on their relative distance but also on their difference of elevation in the layered system. This type of anisotropy is called the zonal anisotropy. Now we come to the, uh, the presence of a drift. The first figure shows the upper line shows the raw variogram and the lower line shows the true underlying variogram. And the second figure shows about the nested structures, where the corner comes in the variogram, which can be very clearly seen. This is called the first structure, and range representing this is called first range, and followed by the second range and third range, so on. So this is represented by the estimate of Zx plus H minus Zx whole square is equal to variance Zx plus H minus Zx plus estimation Zx plus H minus Zx whole square. This is a variance of a linear combination. This can be proper. The equation is shown in the slide. You can go through it. This is called spherical variogram model can be represented by a mathematical function called gamma h is c to c. First one is c 3 by 2 h by a minus half h upon h cube upon a cube. When h is less than or equal to a, or when h is greater than a, then gamma h is equal to c. Where tangent at the origin meets the sill is 2 by 3a, which is shown in the adjoining figure. You can see the tangent at the origin meets the sill at the distance 2 by 3a, and while the range of the variogram is a. This model is a combination of polynomial variables. The exponential variogram can be represented as gamma h is equal to c 1 minus exponential h upon a, where 95% of the maximum value is reached is range is equal to 3a, which is called a practical range, where tangent at the origin meets the sill is a. So where the tangent meets the sill is a in the case of exponential variogram, and in the case of spherical variogram it is 2 by 3a. So practical range is 3a, while the range considered is a. Now we come to Gaussian model. The Gaussian model can be represented by mathematical function gamma h is equal to c 1 minus exponential h square by a square, range equal to square root of cube root of 3 square root of 3a, that is 1.73a. Range, you can see the in the figure, it is represented like this. Range is equal to square root of 3a, that is 1.73a. Power function can be represented as gamma h is equal to h to the power alpha, with 0 is less than or equal to alpha is less than 2. The linear model gamma h is equal to h is a special case. Alpha is equal to 1, then h, alpha is half, then square root of h, and then if alpha is equal to 3 by 2, it is the cube root of h. Has no upper bound, thus corresponding covariance model does not exist. They are intrinsic but not stationary. Now we can have something which is called how we can know which variogram is good or which variogram is not good. So in this function, z star is equal to sigma lambda 1 lambda I lambda j c xi xj. c xi xj is positive definite when greater than or equal to 0 for all lambda I, for all lambda xi. This condition should be satisfied, then the variogram is good. Thus it is seen then the variogram takes into account all the geological features, and it can be expected that an estimation procedure based on it can be geologically reliable. By statistical analysis of ore body, geostatistics employs probability theory to estimate the error of an estimate. It was therefore necessary to determine whether sample values in the ore body could, when considered as independent variables, be approximated by statistical distribution models. The minimum recommended number of boreholes for use of geostatistics is 30, as explained by David in 1984A, which generates 435 combinations of sample pairs. For each sample pair, the separation distance must be calculated from 3-dimensional coordinates and the square of each difference in grade value obtained. An important consequence of the volume variance relationship in geostatistics is that samples must be of the same size if they are to be represented as point values for kriging. Now we can see an example. If you see this example shows very clearly the volume variance relationship. If there is only one sample and which has the grade of 2%, then the mean of 2%, the variance of this one value of the whole deposit is 0, because there is only one value and the variance of the value to itself is 0. Now comes blocks within deposit. S square is V by V. So if we divide the block into 4, and first block has the mean of 1, second block has a mean of 2, third block has a mean of 2, and fourth block has a mean of 3. Then if we take the variance of all the 4 blocks, it becomes 0.5. S square V by V is equal to, somehow it is calculated by like this: 1 upon 4, 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 0, 2 divided by 4 is 0.5. Now samples within blocks, if we subdivide the block, first block into four sub blocks, second block into 4, that is total deposit into 16 blocks, then you can see uh, it uh, it comes to 1.75, the variance. So samples within the blocks, as you decrease the size of the block, your variance increases, and if you increase the support, the variance decreases. Samples within the deposit is 2.25. Calculation is shown. So now it can be seen the dispersion variance of samples within the block S square 0 by V equal to 1.75 plus dispersion variance of blocks within deposit is 0.5 equal to dispersion variance of samples within deposit is 2.25, that is 1.75 plus 0.5 is 2.25. Thus we can come to the conclusion that variances are additive. Histogram and variance are the functions of the volume of the variable support. Skewness of histogram is inversely proportional to the support, so is the variance or standard deviation. That is, smaller the support, higher is the variance or standard deviation. Now we come to the optimal sampling grid for a small region. Grid size 2000, thickness 6.05, ash is 8.54, variance sulfur 21.05. Once you decrease to grid size of 1414, that is along the diagonal, for the thickness, estimated thickness comes is lowered. It is shown as 4.05. That is estimated variance I am talking of, and estimated ash variance 5.67, where variance sulfur is reduced from 21.05 to 15.05, and once we further reduce the grid size to 1000 meters, so thickness, in case of thickness it becomes 2.75, in case of ash it becomes 3.78, in case of sulfur it becomes 10.64. And once we further reduce the sample grid, so like this we see, if we reduce the grid size from 2000 meters to 500 meters, the estimated variance of thickness reduces to 1.13 from 6.05, and for ash it reduces to 1.54 from 8.54, and for sulfur it reduces from 21.05 to 4.62. The confidence interval is equal to Z star K plus minus 2V, that is twice standard deviation. So similarly for large region, this exercise is shown. You can go through it. So from to a 2000 meter grid to 500, for thickness 3.37 in 2000 meter grid, and reduces to 0.6, variance reduces to 0.6. Uh, in 500 meters grid, and ash from 4.8 it goes to 0.8, sulfur 11.8 to 2.9. To start with, we should have variograms of all the variables based on previous information. Optimal drilling pattern also depends on the size and to a lesser extent on the shape of the region to be estimated. Above all, The dominant factor determining the estimation variance is the total number of boreholes. Consequently, although a 1000-meter grid might be optimal for a variable for a certain area, it would not be dense enough for a smaller area. Thank you.